Welcome to Synergy Group's presentation on Waste Connections and their focal information system, Salesforce. Today, we will be introducing you to Waste Connections and telling you a little about the solid waste industry. We're going to talk about the use of Salesforce at Waste Connections, as well as critical success factors, Porter's 5 forces, the value chain, and finally, some lessons learned and recommendations for the future.
The Synergy Group's company overview. Waste Connections was founded in 1997. They are headquartered in the Woodlands, Texas. They are currently the third largest solid waste provider in North America, currently employing over 18,000 employees. Waste Connections specializes in solid waste collection, recycling, and non-hazardous oilfield waste treatment. Their primary purpose is to become the premier waste service provider in the markets that they serve. Solid waste industry assessment. The solid waste management market in the United States is expected to exceed a $15 billion industry in 2019, with the commercial market expected to grow at 2.2% annually and the residential to grow at 1.5% annually through 2026. Waste Connections remains the third largest provider in North America, with the top competitors being Waste Management and Republic Services.
Thanks, Trey. Salesforce is the world's #1 customer relationship management platform. It helps with marketing, sales, commerce, and allows IT teams to work as one from anywhere. The system utilizes a monolithic architecture where one system stores and controls all resources provided to the customer. Waste Connection made the transition to Salesforce in 2016 with a customized version of Salesforce specific to the solid waste industry. This is a central tool for tracking the sales process from lead acquisition through the close of the sales service and into account maintenance and retention. Prior to Salesforce, Waste Connection used an in-house system that lacked required functionalities and were expensive to sustain and further develop. Waste Connection employs several primary sales methods such as inside and outside sales, lead generation and development, territory account management, and click-to-order sales. Salesforce specifically helps Waste Connection focus on account acquisition, account maintenance, and account retention. Account acquisition is the most labor-intensive, which it involves the progress from a prospect of a new client all the way to the closing of the sale of service. Once the user's data is added to Salesforce, the data is automatically saved and made available for immediate viewing. Waste Connection is charged a flat fee for each license that utilizes Salesforce. Because of this payment structure, Waste Connection has made Salesforce available only to members of the sales team and management. On the screen, you will see a dashboard displaying a month of current sales in 2021. Waste Connection is the only company in waste management industry that uses the software. What each user can view varies by roles. Individual contributors have access only to their data and needed functions. Management, on the other hand, has access to the data for each member on their team. Salesforce is accessible through the internet and on most browsers, with optimized performance on Chrome and Safari. Employees can even access Salesforce via their mobile devices. This allows ease of access, speed, and ability to immediately access data are features that create a lot of value for the sales and management team at Waste Connections.
Whether leads are generated online, by referral, by contacting the sales office directly, or by using the click-to-order features on their website, all leads are routed into Waste Connection's highly customized version of Salesforce and assigned out to a sales representative. Salesforce allows sales teams and their direct management to track all interactions with potential and existing customers, track pending and completed action items, and even contract status and information. One of the most notable features, the ability to run detailed reports, is utilized by the entire organization and has a direct impact on the supply chain. Managers can run acquisition and retention reports and individual and team reports, which aid in performance management. These and other reports also aid in decision-making for personnel and supplies. For example, if the reports show a new contract with a school system, government entity, business, a housing development, for example, management would be able to see these reports to assess the need for additional containers, trucks, or even drivers. Conversely, reports showing the loss of such a contract may indicate the need to reallocate these resources that had been used for the account and perhaps indicate the need to engage in targeted local marketing initiatives to gain more business. Salesforce is currently only used by the sales team and their direct management. However, considering the marketing, data and analytics, and other real-time tracking and reporting available, we remain hopeful that Salesforce will be made an enterprise-wide system for Waste Connections in the near future.
On this slide, we're going to talk about how Salesforce is such an integral part of Waste Connections' sales process and how it supports the ability to take potential customers, also known as prospects, and be able to convert them into full-on customers. So Salesforce supports 8 out of the 10 steps within Waste Connections' sales process. And out of those 10 steps, you can really break it down into 3 segments. The first segment is initiation or early engagement. So that is taking a list of potential prospects, and the sales rep has to then reach out to them, use Salesforce to manage those early engagements. Then the second segment is what we like to call the onboarding. So that is the sales rep uses Salesforce to generate initial proposals, e-contracts, really trying to capture the new business and convert that prospect to a customer. Then the third segment is the follow-up. So now that the prospect has been converted to a customer, the sales rep uses Salesforce to set up tasks related to following up with the customer after the initial start of the contract, as well as use Salesforce to manage the relationship throughout the duration of their contract, and then hopefully further on from there.
Now onto the critical success factors of waste management. One of the 3 keys that they implement well is successful adoption. All employees receive hands-on, in-depth training, along with additional assistance in ensuring that employees know how to use Salesforce. Next is their constant utilization. Salesforce is integrated into their route manager, ensuring that effectiveness is monitored. This includes actively updating potential and existing customer data, completing assigned tasks, and tracking progress towards goals. Lastly, a review and verification of sales. One of their main strategies is to ensure a high-quality pipeline with data that allows accurate forecasting. Through the help of Salesforce, handling most of their sales-related data collection, they are able to have more meaningful customer interaction.
Thank you, Chris. Now let's take a look at Michael Porter's 5 Forces framework to examine Waste Connections' competitive environment. Here we revealed the major competitors primarily service metropolitan areas, while Waste Connections' strategy includes concentrating their services on smaller customer bases outside of the major cities, targeting marketing and distribution efforts to underserviced customers. We also noted that the most significant barrier to entry in the solid waste industry is startup cost, which directly affect new entrants to market. The average waste disposal vehicle alone costs about $300,000, which has more than doubled in 10 years. We found that Waste Connections can breathe easy in one aspect, as customers are unlikely to dispose of their own solid waste, and because of the highly regulated nature of the industry, there is little threat of substitutes. However, the bargaining power of buyers is an obvious threat, as an alternative typically exists, and Waste Connection has to maintain top-notch customer service and equipment to remain competitive. They take steps to mitigate the risks posed by limited suppliers by maintaining active contracts with multiple suppliers of a specific good when possible. Overall, our research shows that there are 3 major current and/or looming threats for Waste Connections. First, they have a higher overhead than their rivals due to a disparity in company size. Secondly, fuel, which has led to experimentation with fuel alternatives like compressed natural gas and electric vehicles. And the third being emerging technology, a significant factor in their supply chain, creates a continuous need to upgrade to keep up. And with an increase in hacking attempts across the industry, cybersecurity must also be considered. And now Serena will continue with our examination of Waste Connections' value chain.
Thanks, Jess. I'm here to talk about Michael Porter's value chain. He designed this for organizations to analyze current processes and gaps in their system. He separated these into primary and support activities. Let's take a look at the 5 primary activities first. These activities are inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, sales and marketing, and service. Waste Connections provides autonomy for their regional locations to select their suppliers. The supplier for Waste Connections can change pending on the location. This allows the regional locations to function optimally since they can choose the best business within their area. Operations is the removal of the waste that we throw away every day in how Waste Connections meticulously plans their course of action from taking the trucks to collecting the customer waste to the landfill. They will provide separate waste bins for customers to separate their trash and send separate trucks for pickup. This ensures there's no cross-contamination between items that belong in the landfill and items that belong at recycle centers. For outbound logistics, Waste Connection utilizes their software. The software adjusts the driver's course to ensure they can get from point A to point B as fast as possible. After the course is laid out and the waste is collected, the drivers will locate the closest landfill for waste removal. The fourth primary activity, marketing and sales, is completed at a regional level. Waste Connections takes advantage of their local community by sponsoring local sports teams, billboards, and local targeted advertising on websites. Once the customer reaches out via website or email, a sales associate will help them get started. Finally, service. If a customer has questions or concerns about the service they are receiving, they can call their local call center. Waste Connections believes that having a local call center allows for easier connections between the customer and the sales representative. The customer will feel more valued and closer to these team members since they're both locals within their community. Activities help ensure that the primary activities run smoothly. The first activity is firm infrastructure. The regional level wants to stay personal. They work to create a tight-knit community. The corporate level allows these regions to handle their own personal sales, marketing, budgeting, and forecasting. The corporate level will provide some guidance and also concentrate on strategic planning and high-level decisions. Human resources management is the second support activity. HR acquires employees by posting job opportunities on digital platforms. Once employed, they assure the training includes hands-on experience for quick and efficient learning. To ensure high employee retention, they provide not only competitive compensation packages, but also both role and cross-based training. Allowing this kind of training lets employees learn more and create a lot of potential to move vertically within the organization. The third piece, tech development. The regional level utilizes the third-party information technology, allowing for specialization of hardware and software tech. The last piece of the value chain is procurement. The regional level takes care of their own vehicles' maintenance and performance. The autonomy the regional levels have allows the employees to analyze the best resources for their community. All of these activities ensures that Waste Connections keeps in a competitive advantage. Andy Torr will now provide you a summary of what we discussed today and some recommendations.
So some of the lessons that we've learned from studying Waste Connections throughout the course of the project are they utilize the long tail approach because it is profitable for them and it allows them to remain competitive with the industry. High fuel costs significantly impact not only Waste Connections, but all solid waste management companies within the industry. So there's a dire need for exploring alternative solutions to mitigate that high cost. And the third is Waste Connections utilizes the fast follower concept. So they look at their direct competitors and see what kind of strategies and technologies are being implemented by them and the impact of integrating those technologies and strategies to their operations. So before Waste Connections makes a decision or an investment to enhance their operations, they're looking at their competitors to see, does this make sense? Is this going to benefit them, or should they forgo that opportunity? Some of the recommendations that we have for Waste Connections moving forward are expand the use of Salesforce across all departments to increase overall efficiency and data sharing. The second is review click-to-order inquiries from customers to make sure they have full access to all the products and services, and also just to confirm that their needs are being met. And the third is continue to evaluate emerging trends, whether it's new technologies, new strategies, or new processes within the industry as a whole in order to ensure that Waste Connections either develops or maintains a competitive advantage moving forward. Some examples of emerging trends are hybrid vehicles and autonomy. On behalf of the Synergy team, we just want to give a special thank you to Waste Connections for allowing us to study them and for their continuous support throughout the project. We also want to thank you for your time today and allowing us the opportunity to present our project. We hope you have a great day. Take care.